let me hear what you got here today. What's the latest question under Ask Marvin Anything for this week?
Yeah, so this week we got a question that reads, how do I overcome call reluctance and build confidence during cold calling?
Oh, the old call reluctance. The old call reluctance. I'll tell you, that's a good one. That's a good one. Because believe it or not, folks, there are people that are out there still doing cold calling, either canvassing or phone calls, and that can get very weary after a while. And also, it's like somebody says, "What do you do all day?" Well, I get rejected all day on the phone, or I get kicked out of offices all day. And if you're still doing canvassing door to door, we know how difficult that can be today, because it's not anywhere as easy as it used to be. I always say going door to door is not for the faint of heart, but people still do that. So, I'm thinking there's probably 4 or 5 things that's going to be important. Probably more than that, but for the sake of time, let me see if I can address 4 or 5 things that I've actually talked about in the past when we talk about addressing that cold call reluctance, Cal. One, preparation. Preparation is the key. One of my favorite sayings there is preparation prevents perspiration. And we could probably spend just 10 minutes on what does that preparation look like. Let me just give you a couple. Have you prepared your list in advance? Are you prepared to talk? Are you prepared to talk to the key people you want to talk to? Have you, because what you don't want to do is have intermittent times in between, especially if making phone calls. You want to be prepared. How prepared are you to make that call? How prepared are you to go on that canvassing that you may be doing? Because preparation does prevent perspiration. Second thing you want to be able to do is practice. You've heard me say this. The way you practice is the way you play. You should be practicing over and over and over again. My mantra is don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you won't get it wrong. So if you're still out there cold calling, and cold calling isn't dead, whether it's on the phone or face to face, do some practicing, do some preparation. There's nothing wrong with actually writing out what you want to say once you get in front of that opportunity. I also say write out what you're going to say if you have to leave a voicemail, because a lot of times you make these calls, you don't get anybody, you get voicemail. So have you prepared a voicemail to leave? So preparation, practice. I think the third thing too is a block off time. You got to block off. I call it time blocking. You don't have to cold call all day, whether it's on the phone or face to face. Do you want to do it for an hour? You want to do it for 2 hours? What's a good time frame for you? Because that way there's a beginning and an end.